Every season there is a moment when a team reveals its true identity, when all the preseason hype, the early season noise, and the outside narratives fade away, leaving only the undeniable reality of who they really are. For the Denver Nuggets, that moment arrived against the Houston Rockets, a team that has stormed into the season as one of the toughest defensive units in the league and one of the few squads capable of rattling even the most composed opponents. This was supposed to be the night where Denver finally cracked under pressure, traveling on the road without Aaron Gordon, losing him within the first 3 minutes, missing Christian Braun entirely, and facing a hungry, physical Houston roster in the middle of NBA Cup play. Yet instead of collapsing, the Nuggets delivered a statement performance that echoed far beyond a single win. They didn't just hold their ground, they imposed their will, reminding the league what a championship-caliber team actually looks like when adversity hits. From the opening tip, it became clear that Denver was not interested in moral victories or excuses. They held the Rockets to just 12 points in the first quarter, a defensive chokehold that set the tone for the rest of the game. Even as Reed Shepherd erupted for 27 points in Houston relentlessly crashed the offensive glass, grabbing 17 second-chance opportunities, Denver absorbed every blow and refused to crack. These weren't the actions of a team still figuring out its identity. This was the response of a team with scars, experience, and the kind of collective confidence that only comes from fighting through years of battles together. Everything Houston tried was answered, countered, and eventually neutralized, not through flashy highlights or heroic solo performances, but through discipline, preparation, and a level of poise that only champions understand. At the center of it all was Nikola Jokic, who played the game like a master conductor guiding a symphony, solving problems before they appeared, dictating pace with eerie calmness, and dismantling Houston's defensive schemes with an almost surgical precision. His 34 points, 10 rebounds, and 9 assists barely scratched the surface of his influence. Every mid-range jumper he took felt inevitable. Every possession he slowed down stabilized his struggling teammates. Every defensive stand against Alperen Sengun showcased a new edge in his game that many still underestimate. This was not a star playing great basketball. This was a generational talent operating on a level the league rarely sees, shaping the rhythm of a game exactly how he wants it, bending pressure into opportunity, and demonstrating once again why he remains the most dominant force in the NBA. But what made this win more than just another Jokic masterpiece was the resilience woven through the entire roster. Denver's championship composure rose to the surface as the Rockets repeatedly tried to claw their way back. Every time Houston surged, every time the crowd roared, every time a run seemed imminent, the Nuggets responded with calm execution. They never panicked. They never rushed. They never abandoned their structure. This was the Nuggets at their most dangerous, a team unfazed by chaos, locked in on details, and capable of weathering storms that would unravel lesser squads. It was the clearest sign yet that Denver has rediscovered the rhythm, the focus, and the toughness that powered them to a title. And behind it all, behind the highlight plays and the momentum swings, lies the evolution of Jokic himself. His scoring efficiency is approaching historic levels. His playmaking remains unmatched, and the skill with which he reads defenses feels almost unfair. What's different now is the defense. The narrative of Jokic as a liability on that end is officially outdated. His positioning has sharpened. His anticipation has become elite. His rim protection, while not flashy, is consistent, reliable, and fueled by an IQ that outpaces nearly every big man in the league. The numbers tell the story clearly. Denver with Jokic on the floor sits near the 99th percentile in net rating, in offensive impact, and even in defensive stability. He is not simply carrying a team. He is elevating them on every possession. Around him, the roster has quietly addressed old weaknesses and transformed them into strengths. Denver's defense, once a point of skepticism, has surged into the top 5 in the league. The rotations are tighter, the communication sharper, the point of attack pressure more disruptive. Peyton Watson has blossomed into a legitimate defensive weapon. Christian Braun, when healthy, brings toughness and energy. Even Cam Johnson has added stability to the perimeter. What used to be Denver's biggest concern, whether they could sustain playoff-level defense in the regular season, has now become one of their greatest assets. And then there is the bench. For years, the Achilles heel of this franchise has been the non-Jokic minutes, the inevitable stretches where leads evaporated, momentum shifted, and the team simply tried to survive. Last season, those minutes were catastrophic, sinking to the bottom of the league during the playoffs. But this year, Denver has quietly rebuilt the second unit into something functional, dependable, and at times legitimately impactful. Jonas Valanciunas gives them strength and structure in the paint. Spencer Jones supplies steadiness. Bruce Brown has rediscovered his rhythm as a connective piece. Tim Hardaway Jr. has injected the instant scoring they desperately needed. The drop-off without Jokic is no longer freefall. It's manageable. It's controlled. And for a team that dominates when its stars on the floor, that margin alone might be the difference between winning and surviving in a brutal Western Conference. Perhaps the most important shift, however, comes from Jamal Murray. Known for his postseason explosions and his inconsistency during the regular season, Murray has stepped into this year with a different mentality. His aggression is immediate. His shot selection sharper. His leadership more vocal. Against Houston, he overcame a sluggish start by taking over late, attacking mismatches with purpose, hitting a clutch mid-range dagger, and making one of the smartest defensive plays of the night by jumping a critical passing lane that sealed the game. This wasn't playoff Murray waking up. This was the new version of Murray, the regular season star Denver always hoped he could become. And when both Jokic and Murray play at this level before winter even arrives, it is hard to imagine what their ceiling will look like when the games truly matter. This win over Houston wasn't accidental. It wasn't lucky. It wasn't just another game in November. It was a declaration. Denver walked into one of the toughest arenas in the NBA, undermanned and overlooked, and emerged looking like the team the West hoped would take a step back. They didn't. They looked stronger than ever, more complete than ever, more locked in than ever. And if this is the version of the Nuggets the league will see for the rest of the season, then the road to the finals still runs through Denver, no matter how fast OKC rises or how hungry Minnesota becomes. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want to keep riding with us as we uncover the real stories behind the NBA's biggest performances, make sure to hit that like button and share your thoughts in the comments. Are the Nuggets officially back? Has Jokic taken his game to another level? And how far can Denver go if this defense stays elite all year long? Let us know below. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss our next deep dive into the moments shaping the league.